I always find things blowing in the wind makes my shots look more cinematic. So I'm going to show you a quick technique I used here to make these lanterns blow in the wind. It's not as difficult as you might think. So the way I do this is just by modeling one segment of the hanging lanterns. So I've got a paper lantern here that I made in an earlier tutorial. There should be a link for that. And what I'm doing is just focusing on creating segments. So I'm adding a cylinder here only with 8 sides because the less geometry there is, the quicker this in will go. Scaling it into shape and giving it some loop cuts, just 3, and making sure that there's one loop cut above the paper lantern here and removing out the end caps. And before I do anything else, I'm just making a quick addition to my paper lantern so it looks like it could plausibly be hanging off this rope. Okay, then the key to this is just creating some geometry for the simulation of where this paper lantern would be. So all I'm doing here is making a box within the rope mesh and scaling it roughly into shape over the paper lantern. Then taking each top corner vertex and attaching it using F to the bottom vertex here. If all of this is a bit too fast for you, don't worry, you can download the final file and a full version of this tutorial that goes step by step. Alright, and now to turn this segment into a whole line, I'm just using the array modifier, setting it to -1 on the z-axis. I'm changing the count to 8. Now I've got 8 segments. And then if I apply that modifier, I've got just one full object, although these aren't attached to each other yet. So in edit mode, just selecting all the vertices and merging them together. We're going to add 2 edge loops onto each end of the rope mesh, then select all these end vertices, go to vertex group, create a new vertex group, and call it pin. There's the fun part, we go to physics, add in some cloth. Choose a preset of silk. Why? I don't know, it just kind of worked. Go down to pin, and the vertex group, choose our pin group. Press play, look, they're dangling. But our paper lantern isn't moving with our simulation, so select it, Shift S, cursor to selection, then add in an empty. Now we need to make this empty move with the top of this box, so select the empty, Shift select our other geometry here, tab to edit mode, select 3 vertexes on the top like this, and then press Ctrl P. And if we make our paper lantern a child of this empty, press play, and it moves with it. Cool. So this next part is unfortunately super tedious. I make the linked duplicates of the empty and the paper lantern, and just do that for each box. If you know a quicker way to do that, please let me know in the comments. We press play now. Look at them all, they're dangling, that's cool. But we don't want those boxes to render, so simply give a shader to our rope vertices, then select our box vertices, assign a new material, call it transparent, delete the principal BSDF, add in a transparent BSDF. Now they don't render and it's just our paper lanterns in place. Cool. But you said these would blow in the wind and that looks like a jiggle. So add a force, wind, and a turbulence. Animate the turbulence so it moves through space. Choose these settings for the wind, and these settings for the turbulence. And there you go, add these into shots and it makes it look more cinematic.